Okay, I call this meeting to order. It's 6:01. Roll call.
Carmen Garza present.
Alda Benavides present.
Alex Cantu present.
Mary Hernandez present.
And myself, do declare a quorum, Dr. Science.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Up next, we have our public comments. Any public comments, Scott?
Yes, Mr. Salinas, we have two. The first one is Yolanda Gonzalez.
Good evening, Ms. Gonzalez. You have 3 minutes. Our attorney, Mr. Flores, will keep the time so that he can let you know when you have a minute, so you can start closing up. At no time will the board be able to answer any of your questions, okay?
Thank you so much.
You can begin at whenever you're ready, Ms. Gonzalez. Thank you.
Thank you. So again, my name is Yolanda Gonzalez, and I'm with the Texas State Teachers Association. I'm staff. And with me is Mr. Hector Rodriguez. He's an employee of the district. You're probably familiar with him. Mr. Rodriguez is a bus driver. And today we have a presentation for you on a petition that the school employees have been working, the transportation department specifically, for salary increases for the next school year. And at this point, before I left my desk this evening, they were at about 265 supporters that had signed that petition. So the numbers are continuing to grow in support, and I'm going to read you some information that I hope you keep in mind as you continue to work through the numbers and to try to make things meet. So thank you so much. And bus drivers, bus aides, mechanics, and all others who work in transportation have been working endlessly to provide a safe and reliable transportation to students and to provide educational support to campuses by making the Wi-Fi available in the La Jolla ISD community. It is a very difficult job, and it is very demanding, and it does incur increased risk. We have, however, as employees, they have suffered significantly due to the loss of work hours this year and since the pandemic began. And many of them are doing without many of their basics, just because their hours went from being able to earn the overtime that they were accustomed to earning due to all the extra work trips and so forth to basically 35 hours per week. And so that has caused an undue hardship. So on their behalf, the employees are petitioning the La Jolla ISD Superintendent and School Board to consider and approve a salary increase of $2 per hour for the 21-22 school year, a retention stipend of $2,500 to be paid in June and $2,500 to be paid in December, and to make time and a half as the hourly rate for summer work for this summer. As we all know, there is a shortage of transportation employees all over the country. Most of them do leave because of the lack of work and the lack of the low wages. And so we are asking that you please keep that in mind as you continue to stabilize your educational environment here in La Jolla. And do you mind if I have an extra minute?
Can we do that then?
President, sorry, Mr. President.
Mr. Flores.
Okay, you have, I'll give you 30 seconds, miss, just to meet you halfway.
Thank you. So now with the shortages, you have loss in personnel. It's all over. It's happening all over the place, actually, all over the country. And so we're asking that you please also consider giving them a 40-hour confirmed work week rather than the 35-hour confirmed work week. Many of the districts are moving in that direction to be able to retain their employees in transportation areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you.
Now we have public comment from Brenda Salinas.
Good evening, Ms. Salinas. You know, you've been a board member, so 3 minutes, and at no time will we answer any questions. Mr. Flores, our attorney, will keep the count on the time and give you the advice on 1 minute so you're able to close.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas.
Well, good evening, Mr. President, School of Trustees, Dr. Science, and members of the community. I am Brenda Lee Salinas. I am the proud president of La Jolla AFT, and on behalf of the La Jolla AFT Executive Board and our union members, and again, union members, you know, that we're very proud of, we want to thank you and express how excited we are for this great partnership opportunity. And we can't wait to get started with a $40,000 AFT Innovation Fund Grant project. So again, thank you. And Mr. President, I yield back my time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas. Okay, moving on. Next, guys, can I obtain a motion for the approval of the tax collector report?
So move.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. On the next one, if I can obtain a motion for items 1, 2, 3, and 4.
So move.
I have a motion and a second. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. With that being said, Dr. Science, you have a long list for tonight.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Salinas. Good evening, everyone. The first item on the superintendent's report is the enrollment report, and this report is dated May 18, 2021. On that day, we had 12,260 elementary students, 14,410 secondary students, for a total of 26,670 students, which is 753 less than at this date last year. Item number 2 on the superintendent's report, which is recognition of Sergio Munoz Senior Memorial Scholarship sponsored by family of Sergio Munoz Senior through La Jolla ISD Educational Excellence Foundation for La Jolla ISD valedictorians, will be postponed until our next meeting. So the next item is recognition of Vanessa Brown, CTE instructor at Jimmy Carter Early College High School, and Jorge L. Cantu, science teacher at Academy of Health Science Professions and STEM, for obtaining a master's degree in biology from Washington University, St. Louis. Ms. Melinda Flores, our executive director for high school, will present this award.
Good evening, Board President Mr. Salinas, board members, Dr. Science, and members of our community. I'm Melinda Flores, the Executive Director for High Schools, and this evening I have the honor of recognizing our district teachers who have earned a master's degree with partnership through the Texas Graduate Center partnership that we have. And so our first group of teachers, Ms. Vanessa Brown is a CTE teacher at Jimmy Carter Early College High School. She, along with Mr. Jorge L. Cantu, a science teacher at the Academy of Health Science Professions in STEM, both earned a Master of Biology for teaching. They are part of our Cohort 10 group, and we would like to recognize and congratulate them for bringing change and innovation to the instruction that they will be providing for our students at La Jolla ISD.
The next is recognition of David A. Garza, math teacher at Juarez Lincoln High School, Ricardo Hinojosa, math teacher at Jimmy Carter Early College High School, Daniel Garza, math teacher, and Ahmad Harb from Palmview High School for obtaining a master's degree in mathematics from Harvard University.
And again, we're very excited and we're very eager to have these individuals start, because by earning their master's degrees, they're allowing our district to expand our dual credit program. And so again, we do have Daniel Garza, the mathematics teacher at La Jolla Palmview High School, Ricardo Hinojosa, as you could see on our screen, from Jimmy Carter Early College High School, Mr. David A. Garza is at La Jolla Juarez Lincoln High School, and Mr. Ahmad Harb is a mathematics teacher at La Jolla Palmview High School. These teachers and our principals are joining us live via our live stream, and we're just very appreciative of the opportunity that our board and that our district provides these individuals. So thank you all so much for all the support.
Thank you, Ms. Flores. The next recognition is recognition of the 2020-2021 La Jolla ISD Librarian of the Year. Ms. Alma Salinas, Library Services and Instructional Resources Director, will present this award.
Good evening, Mr. President, Oscar Salinas, members of the board, Dr. Gisela Sáenz, Superintendent of Schools. It is with great pleasure that I come to you to recognize our Librarian of the Year. A special recognition for the 2021, let me just get my presentation going here. Okay, there we go. All right, so we have Rachel Solis from Enrique Camarena Elementary. Ms. Solis is always sharing ideas and is great with technology, creates exciting lessons for kids, goes above and beyond for her school and staff. Moreover, is a team player who is resourceful and continuously shares her own created materials. Just recently Renaissance Learning, Carol Dung, which is the Renaissance Royal Community Administrator, nationally highlighted her in her Renaissance blog to challenge other Renaissance librarians on a national platform. We're very excited about Ms. Rachel Solis being Librarian of the Year this year, and we thank you for acknowledging or allowing us to recognize her at this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas.
Thank you.
The next item is recognition of the Parent Roundtable for the 2020-2021 school year. These parents are being recognized for participating in the Parent Roundtable. These parents have provided feedback, recommendations to improve programs for all students in the district. We appreciate the time they have dedicated to our district. The participants for the Roundtable this year are Vanessa Flores, Rosendo Benavides Elementary; Hortensia Trevino, Lloyd Benson Elementary; Laura Ruiz, Camarena Elementary; Melissa Perez, Chapa Elementary; Brenda Lee Barrientos, Kika de la Garza Elementary; Tanya Rodriguez, Diaz Villarreal Elementary; Karen Trevino, Jose de Escandon Elementary; Janeth Campos, Jose de Escandon Elementary; Maribel Benavides, Guillermo Flores Elementary; Joanna N. Zarate, Fordyce Elementary; Maria del Rosario del Ángel, Evangelina Garza Elementary; Donna Barrera, Gonzalez Elementary; Esmeralda Sarabia, John F. Kennedy Elementary; Ana Maria Sainz, Leo J. Leo Elementary; Alondra Bermea, Dr. Palmira Mendiola Elementary; Elisa Reyes, Dr. Americo Paredes Elementary; Linda Ledesma, Corina Peña Elementary; Maria Gutierrez, Patricio Perez Elementary; Gladys Peña, Ibi Reina Elementary; Nelida Rosales Tapia, Juan Seguin Elementary; Giovanna Garcia, Tabasco Elementary; and Graciela Zapata, Emiliano Zapata Elementary. Thank you to our elementary parent roundtable participants. In our middle schools, Lisa Osuna, Cesar Chavez Middle School; Brenda Garcia, Lorenzo de Zavala Middle School; Janeth Cantu, Irene Garcia Middle School; Rocio Olivares, Memorial Middle School; Nancy Viviana Garza, Ann Richards Middle School; Jessica Garza, Dr. Javier Sainz Middle School; Isabel Ortiz, J.D. Salinas Middle School; and Sandra Arauz, Domingo Trevino Middle School. Thank you to our middle school parent roundtable participants. In our high schools, Carla Vallejan, Juarez Lincoln High School. Veronica Perez, Palmview High School. Margarita Cordero, Thelma R. Salinas STEM Early College High School. Amalia De Lira, Academy of Health Science Professions and STEM. Maribel Olvera, La Jolla Early College High School. And Angelica Hernandez, Jimmy Carter Early College High School. Thank you to our high school parent roundtable participants. The next item is recognition of the High School Advisory Pack for 2020-2021. We're recognizing these high school students for participating in the High School Advisory Pack. These high school students have provided valuable insight, feedback, and recommendations to improve the high school experience in our district. The participants this year were from La Jolla High School, Melissa Cantu, Valerie Chavez, and Noe Garcia. From Juarez Lincoln High School, Regina Rios, Emilio Cantu III, Daniela Herbert, Wendy Compian, and Odali Sainz. From Palmview High School, Jesslyn Flores, Catherine Escobar, Laisha Santana, and Anaili Garcia. From Thelma R. Salinas STEM Early College High School, Thomas Escamilla, Emily Sandoval, Octavio Montoya, and Anaí Hernandez. From the Academy of Health Science Professions and STEM, Christopher Villarreal, Lynette Pina, Marisol Munoz, and Rolando Garza. From La Jolla Early College High School, Diego A. Trevino, Javier Alanis, Abigail Diaz, and Kayla A. Tovar. And from Jimmy Carter Early College High School, Kevin Martinez, Arlette Galvan, Carlos Montes, and Matthew Garza. Thank you to all of these high school students for participating in the High School Advisory Pack. The next is recognition of District Ambassadors Forum. These students from elementary, middle, and high school participated in the Ambassadors Forum during the 2020-2021 school year. These students have learned about the vision, mission, and goals of La Jolla ISD, and they have become advocates for their peers as well as for La Jolla ISD. The district ambassadors are as follows: Danelli Flores, Benavides Elementary; Matias Jimenez, Benson Elementary; Alessandro Ruiz, Camarena Elementary; Zendel Hernandez, Cavazos Elementary; Clarissa Castillo, Chapa Elementary; Maybelly Rodriguez, Clinton Elementary; Ruben Torres, De la Garza Elementary; Lauren Rodriguez, Diaz Villarreal Elementary; Ivana Vasquez, Jose de Escandon Elementary; Javi Vela, Guillermo Flores Elementary; Ana Sofia Mendez, Fordyce Elementary; Fernanda Garcia, Garza Elementary; Camila Canchola, Gonzalez Elementary; Camila Lara, JFK Elementary; Samuel de Leon, Leo J. Leo Elementary; Enrique Hernandez, Mendiola Elementary; Victoria Romero, Paredes Elementary; Damian Zamorano, Peña Elementary; Ariana Galvan Marroquín, Perez Elementary; Tirso Alejandro Acevedo, Reina Elementary; Saraí Garcia, Seguin Elementary; Vianney Enojosa, Tabasco Elementary; and Isaí Coronado from Zapata Elementary. Thank you to these elementary students for participating. Our middle school students this year were Emilia Yvette Vega from Chavez Middle School; Arlette Garcia from the Zavala Middle School; Carolina Peña from Garcia Middle School, Natalie Hinojosa from Memorial Middle School, Roel Flores from Ann Richards Middle School, Jose Garibaldi from Dr. Javier Sainz Middle School, Ariana Montoya from Salinas Middle School, and Kevin A. Liguez from Trevino Middle School. Our high school participants were Elia Alvarez from La Jolla High School, Odalis Sainz from Juarez Lincoln High School, Ricardo Jimenez Marmolejo from Palmview High School, Luis Sarabia from Thelma R. Salinas STEM Early College High School, Christopher Villarreal from the Academy of Health Science Professions and STEM, Amanda Villarreal from La Jolla Early College High School, and Raquel Cruz from Jimmy Carter Early College High School. Congratulations and thank you to these district ambassadors. The next recognition is recognition of 2021 La Jolla ISD Renaissance National Honor Roll Royals, and we'll have Ms. Salinas, our Library Services and Instructional Resources Director, do this award.
Thank you, Dr. Sainz. The Renaissance National Honor Roll Royals status is accomplished when a teacher, a librarian, and/or an administrator implement, effectively meets or exceeds data targets after a minimum of 25 weeks of implementation. Today, we will recognize 24 individuals for their constant collaboration at their campuses. And as you know, after we came back last year from spring break, we've been having status of the district when it comes to reading, because we want to make sure that reading is happening everywhere, okay? So it is with great honor that I come to you with these acknowledgements and recognitions to our hardworking team of librarians and Reading Renaissance coaches. Librarian Adi Martinez at Ann Richards Middle School. Librarian Veronica Flores at Cesar Chavez Middle School. Librarian Maggie Gonzalez at Diaz Verreal Elementary. Librarian Alicia Garza at Dr. Americo Paredes Elementary. Librarian Amanda Salinas at Dr. Javier Sainz Middle School. Librarian Maria Tristan at Dr. Palmira Mendiola Elementary. Librarian Cynthia Cantu at Ibi Reina Elementary. Librarian Camille Villegas at Kika de la Garza Elementary. Librarian Vanessa Flores at Elodia R. Chapa Elementary. Librarian Sandra Lumbreras at Emiliano Zapata Elementary. Librarian Raquel Solis at Enrique Camarena Elementary. Librarian Norma Rodriguez at Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary. Librarian Sandra Koning at JFK Elementary. Librarian Elizabeth Cavazos at Jimmy Carter Early College High School. Librarian Florencia Alanis at Jose de Escandon Elementary. Librarian Eliamar Hinojosa at Juan de Dios Middle School. Reading Renaissance coach Nidia Salinas at La Jolla Early College High School. Librarian Esmeralda Gomez at Leo J. Leo Elementary. Librarian Maribel Moreno at Lloyd Benson Elementary. Librarian Maria Victoria Flores at Lorenzo de Zavala Middle School. Librarian Nancy Garza at Memorial Middle School. Librarian Edith Vera at Narciso G. Cavazos Elementary. Librarian Luisa Altamirano at Patricio Perez Elementary. Librarian Elizabeth Hernandez at Sanford Ice Elementary. It is with great honor that I bring to you this list of library team members that worked so very hard to make sure that our teachers were updated with their reports and students knew exactly what goals they needed to meet and that they were constantly reading.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Our next item is recognition of 2020-2021 La Jolla ISD Kindergarten Top Reader, and Mrs. Salinas will continue with this award.
As you know, our target is reading, and early literacy is definitely a target in our La Jolla ISD district. So it is with great honor that I come to you and recognize the 2020-21 La Jolla ISD Kinder Top Reader, Isaac Elijah Pompean, for outstanding student commitment and accountability for reading success and reading. 627,688 words this academic year. Kudos to Isaac Complean, who is tuned watching our our virtual presentation today.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas. The next is recognition of 2020-2021 District Battle of the Books Grand Champs.
The pandemic has not stopped our district from reading, and obviously Battle of the Books was not an exception. This academic year, we had virtual battles of the books for elementary, middle school, and high school, and as you know, our students were excited about it, and they said, you know what, Ms. Salinas, we need to do it next year too, whenever we come back, and then also virtually. So this only has broadened our horizons as far as Battle of the Books. So with me today, I would like to do a special recognition for our 2021 District Battle of the Books Grand Champions for elementary level. First place, Phoenix Perales, Dr. Palmira Mendiola. Second place, Enrique Hernandez, Dr. Palmira Mendiola. Third place, Ariel Beltran for Narciso Cavazos Elementary. Fourth place, Taritza Hernandez from Dr. Palmira Mendiola Elementary. Fifth place, Adrián Tovar from Narciso Cavazos Elementary. Middle school, we have Grand Champion Battle of the Book from Dr. Javier Science Middle School, Kaylin Aguilar. Second place, Battle of the Books, Irene Garcia, STEM Middle School proudly recognizes Kaylin Garcia. Third place, Ann Richards Middle School proudly recognizes Kaylin Tovar. Fourth place, Irene Garcia STEM Middle School proudly recognizes Esteban Ortegon. Fifth place, Ann Richards Middle School proudly recognizes their Battle of the Books winner, Jonathan Moreno. Battle of the Books does not stop in elementary nor middle school, and throughout the years, we've been able to also include our high school students. And I have to just share with you that it is wonderful to see that our fifth graders are now battling in high school. So it is with great honor that I bring to you our grand champion first place, Jade Cruz from Jimmy Carter Early College High School. Second place, from Palmview High School, Yahir Lopez, who is an 11th grader. Third place, we have Dominic Brown from Jimmy Carter Early College. Fourth place, Daniela Flores from Jimmy Carter Early College. And fifth place, congratulations go to Clarissa Rivera, who's a 12th grader from Palmview High School.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. For the record, Ms. Espi Ochoa arrived at our meeting at 6:03 p.m. and Dr. Nereida Cantu at 6:06 p.m. Our next recognition is recognition of La Joya ISD 2020-2021 first through 12th grade top district readers.
This award is very close to my heart because I always say that my son will always, someday, will get an Oscar. And us as teachers and librarians and administrators only want the best for our students as we want for our children. So this recognition is for the top district readers from 1st to 12th grade, and it stands for Outstanding Student Commitment and Accountability for Reading Success. Reading should not stop in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. Reading should continue all the way to 12th grade. So it is with great pride that I present to you our Oscars for the 2021 academic year. 1st grade, Chloe Itzet Urla from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, who read 1,101,482 words this academic year. 2nd grade, we have an Oscar for Cristian Alejandro Cantu from John F. Kennedy Elementary, who read 2,082,001 words for this 2021 academic year. 3rd grade, we have Adrián Tovar from Narciso Cavazos Elementary, that this academic year he read 4,846,159 words for this 2021 academic year.
Do believe, that we were just holding back until we finish so that we can do the whole applause for everyone because everybody
Fourth grade.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas, we'll do that.
Fourth grade, it's very tempting, Dr. Science. Fourth grade, we have Ariel J. Beltran from Narciso Cavazos Elementary, who this 2021 academic year read 4,704,750 words this academic year. Fifth grade, we have an Oscar for Brianna L. Gonzalez from William J. Clinton Elementary, who read 6,979 words this 2021 academic year. Sixth grade, we have an Oscar for Caitlin Eileen Tovar, who is from Ann Richards Middle School, who read 6,402,16 words read this 2021 academic year. Seventh grade, we have an Oscar for Samantha Marie Mendivil from Memorial Middle School, who read 9,930,731 words read 2021 academic year. Eighth grade, we have an Oscar from Alejandro Venegas from Lorenzo de Zavala Middle School, who this year read 4,529,499 words this 2021 academic year. Ninth grade student who gets an Oscar this year is Eileen Lisette Morales, who is from La Jolla Early College High School. She read 3,268,229 words read this 2021 academic year. The 10th grade student who is getting an Oscar this year this is her fourth Oscar. Maydeen Yaritze Ibarra from Juarez Lincoln High School is a recipient of the Oscar as a 7th grader, 8th grader, 9th grader, and now a 10th grader. This is her fourth Oscar. Maydeen Yaritze Ibarra, who read 2,435,515 words, read this 2021. That is amazing. Our 11th grader Oscar goes to Jade Annette Cruz from Jimmy Carter Early College High School. She read 3,192,271,000 words this 2021 academic year, and she did get an Oscar when she was a freshman back in 2018-2019. Our senior Oscar goes to Nellice Garcia from Jimmy Carter Early College High School. She read 3,287,391,000 words this 2021 academic year. So congratulations to all our Oscars. We will be recognizing them this Friday at our curbside event, along with the Battle of the Books, the Kinder Top Reader, and of course, our Librarian of the Year and our Honor Roll recipients.
Thank you, Ms. Salinas. The next award is Recognition of Texas Library Association 2020-2021 Youth Creators Award recipients.
These awards are very close to my heart because the Library Services and Instructional Resource Department entered 225 entries this academic year to the Texas Youth Creator Awards. And in Texas, there were 400 entries in total, which means that our LJISD actually entered half plus 5, half plus 25 entries. Our students did not stop. Their academic year became just like a routine. Okay, we need to do this online, we'll do it. So these awards were previously named the Texas Media Awards, and 33% of our students placed and were awarded first, second, third, and our honorable mention recognition for a total of 73 students. These projects promoted excellence in amateur media production and its importance in lifelong learning. So while the students were at home or were at school, these awards were part of their academic day. So, for example, we have here our first recipient will be Ms. Vida and Emma Macias from Sanford Ice Elementary that placed first place in animation. Then we have also for Sanford Ice Elementary, Haley Hernandez, category color photography, who also placed first place. We have multimedia category, from Sanford Heights Elementary, Leila and Haley Hernandez, who placed third place. Also from Sanford Heights Elementary, we have a book trailer, multimedia from Leila and Haley Hernandez, who also placed a third place. Can we go back? Because I do need to, I know our students are watching and I don't want to give them the wrong information. Okay, this was a second place, and this was Leila and Haley Hernandez, and this was for their book trailer. They also entered another project who also placed and got a third place, but that is multimedia. And it's also Leila and Haley Hernandez from Sanford Heights Elementary. We have from Sanford Heights Elementary a book trailer, and that is from Jose L. Hernandez, who placed a third place. Okay, we have from Juan Segui Elementary, category animation. We have Litzy Vasquez, who placed a first place. And these are first place in the state. So these places are in the whole whole state of Texas, which is amazing what our students are doing in the classroom. We have from Juan Seguin, multimedia category, Alexa Melendez, who placed a first place on her Born to Dance multimedia project. Moving on to John F. Kennedy, we have black and white photography, Joshua Rodriguez, who placed a first place. Notice how these projects are when our kids are outside, playing, exploring, they're taking their cameras and they're submitting these projects to this wonderful, category, which is black and white, and they're placing. It's just amazing what our kids are doing as they're learning. Again, John F. Kennedy book trailer. This is Diego Peña, and who placed, first place for the book trailer. Moving on to Jacqueline Rodriguez from John F. Kennedy, who placed honorable mention. We have now from Elodia Chapa, we have a black and white photography category, Isabel Rios placing a first place. Then we have from Elodia Chapa, color photography, Isabel Rios getting an honorable mention. Moving on to Dr. Palmira Mendiola, book trailer by Simone Tristan, placing a first place on her book trailer. We have from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, coding category, Phoenix Perales, placing a first place. We have from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, digital music. We have Enrique Hernandez also placing a first place. Dr. Palmira Mendiola, we have multimedia category, Enrique Hernandez placing a first place. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, web design category, Perla Garza placing a first place. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, a black and white photography category, we have Daritza Hernandez placing a second place. Moving on to Dr. Palmira Mendiola, graphic design, we have Aida Gomez and Alejandro Guerra working in conjunction to getting a second place. Dr. Palmira Mendiola, we have a video category, and we have a group collaboration project, and that is Kimberly Moreno, Neila Ibarra, Marlene Villegas, Dash Ramos, Nicole Hernandez, and Daira Pesina placing a second place. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, category video, we have Enrique Hernandez earning a second place. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, we have video category, we have Simone Tristan placing third. Dr. Palmira Mendiola, category animation, we have Ashley Bellond, third place. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, we have category multimedia, and that is Flor Tristan placing an honorable mention. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, we have category animation, Enrique Hernandez earning an honorable mention. Also from Dr. Palmira Mendiola, graphic design category, we have a group project, Roel Arellano, Gael Alonso Castillo, Kimberly Hernandez, and Norma Perales earning an honorable mention place. From William J. Clinton Elementary, category graphic design, we have Alejandra Gutierrez earning a first place. From Evangelina Garza Elementary, we have from category coding, Detsy Zaragoza earning a second place. Also from Evangelina Garza Elementary, we have a book trailer by Exactly Martinez with an honorable mention. Moving on to E.B. Reina Elementary, we have a book trailer by Mariana Ramirez placing second place. Also from E.B. Reina Elementary, we have a graphic design category earning a third place, Arlette Garcia. Moving on to Kika de la Garza, we have category color photography, Cristian Alanis earning a third place. Also from Kika de la Garza, color photography category, we have Carla Briceño earning a second place. Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary, category black and white photography, Humberto Quintero with an honorable mention. Also from Henry B. Gonzalez Elementary, category black and white photography, Valdemar Quintero earning a third place. From Emiliano Zapata Elementary, category book trailer, we have Sebastián Lumbreras earning a third place. Also from Emiliano Zapata, we have category color photography, Sebastián Lumbreras. Now we're moving on to middle school. From Dr. Javier Sáenz Middle School, and these are students from 6th to 8th grade. On the category coding, we have Mauricio Gonzalez Martinez from Dr. Sáenz earning a first place. Dr. Javier Sáenz Middle School, category coding, we have Carter Ponce earning a second place. Dr. Javier Sáenz Middle School, category color photography, we have Ailea Suarez earning an honorable mention. From Memorial Middle School, category animation, we have Rafael Ponce earning a first place. From Memorial Middle School, category animation, we have Damian Benavides earning a second place. Moving to Cesar Chavez Middle School, we have category black and white photography, we have Miss Kayla Rios earning a first place. Also, from Chavez Middle School, we have color photography. We have Ms. Kayla Rios earning a third place. Moving on to Lorenzo de Zavala Middle School, category book trailer, Emily Gomez earning a first place. Also from Lorenzo de Zavala, we have, let me go back. I got excited and I skipped one project. Give me one second. I know our students are watching at home. I want to make sure that I get everybody. From Lorenzo de Zavala, we have a video category, Emily Gomez. Miss Emily had 2 projects, and on the video category, she earned also a first place. Let me go back. From the Lorenzo de Zavala category book trailer, we have Sofia Elisa Tamez earning a second place. Also from Lorenzo de Zavala, category video, this was a group collaboration. We have Diego Gonzalez, Joshua Johnson, Oscar Cabral, Patricio Alvarez, Sofia Dominguez, Eugenio Chapa, and Sofia Elisa Tamez earning a second place on their video category. From Lorenzo de Zavala, category coding, we have Manuel Alvarado from Lorenzo de Zavala earning a third place in the coding category. From Lorenzo de Zavala, on the category website, we have Jocelyn Garcia earning a third place. Also from Lorenzo de Zavala, we have a video, and that is Diana Durch-Arm, Oscar Carvajal, Diego Gonzalez, and Sara Rodriguez Garibay, earning a third place. Moving on to Juan de Dios Salinas Middle School, we have a multimedia category, Ricardo Paz earning a first place. From Juan de Dios Middle School, we also have another multimedia category, and that is Sherilyn Alfaro earning a second place. From Domingo Treviño Middle School, we have from category graphic design, we have Catherine Arauz earning a third place. From Domingo Treviño Middle School, we have a website category earning a second place, and that will be Alejandro Peña, Susan Hernandez, David Garcia, Gabriela Reyes, and Julissa Vera. Moving to Irene Garcia Middle School, we have category animation, Kayleen Maylene Zarate earning a 3rd place. Moving to the La Jolla High School, we have animation category. We have Yahira Chapa and Vanessa Vivas with their animation category earning a 1st place. From Jimmy Carter Early College, we have category color photography, Juliana Mendoza earning a 1st place. From Early College, Jimmy Carter Early College High School, we have category color photography, Kayla De Leon earning a 2nd place. From Jimmy Carter Early College High School, also from color photography category, we have Melanie Garcia earning a 2nd place. From Jimmy Carter Early College High School, we also have a black and white category, Melanie Garcia earning a 3rd place. Moving to Thelma, I don't want to skip one of them. Let me see. I think this is also from, okay, let me go back. There's too many of them. Okay, so we have from Jimmy Carter College High School, we also have Ms. Kayla De Leon, color photography. She submitted two projects and she placed both. On this one, color photography, she earned an honorable mention. From Thelma R. Salinas STEM Early College High School, category black and white photography, we have Julian. Okay, did I go back? Give me 1 second. My apologies, I went back. I know our students are, okay. Color photography, okay, so, okay, we're back. Thelma R. Salinas STEM Early College High School, we have black and white category. We have Julian Garcia earning a 1st place. From also Thelma Salinas STEM Early College High School, category color photography, Paola Avila earning a 3rd place. Palmview High School, we had black and white photography category, Crystal Perez earning a 2nd place. From Palmview High School graphic design category, we have Ailina Garcia, Karina Guerra, and Jose A. Rodriguez earning a 2nd place. Also from Palmview High School, we have graphic design. We have Stephanie Garcia earning a 3rd place. And also from Palmview High School, we have black and white photography category, Maria L. Vasquez, earning an honorable mention. And but not least, we have from Palmview High School, color photography category, Analai Garcia, Karina Guerra, and Jose A. Rodriguez, earning an honorable mention. We are extremely proud of our students, their hard work, and of course, collaboration with our K department, our all technology, classes that they had, and special thanks to Ms. Clem Garza for making sure that our teachers, our librarians were up to par when it came to technology and being ready and moving forward. We are so proud of all the students and all our teachers, along with our librarians, for working so hard and making sure that our students did not stop reading, did not stop learning, and did not stop being creative. I thank you so much for your time. It's been an honor. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Salinas. Our next recognition is recognition of Director for Library Services and Instructional Resources, Mrs. Alma Salinas, for being selected to serve on the Texas Library Association Disaster Relief Committee. Mr. Martin Munoz, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, will present this award.
Mr. President, Madam Superintendent, members of the board, distinguished guests and community, this evening I have the honor of recognizing Ms. Alma Salinas, our Director for Library Services and Instructional Resources, for having been selected to serve on the Texas Library Association Disaster Relief Committee. As a member, Ms. Salinas will assist in the TLA Disaster Relief Committee responding to all types of disasters that severely affect libraries across Texas. TLA awards grants from their Disaster Relief Fund to libraries that have been impacted by natural disasters. So ladies and gentlemen of the board, we thank you for affording us this opportunity to congratulate Ms. Salinas on her appointment.
Congratulations, Mrs. Salinas.
I guess we can applaud for all the ones that were before that, so
Yes.
we're all waiting.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas.
Our hands were like, oh.
Our last recognition is recognition of La Jolla High School agriculture science students. This recognition will be done by Mr. Jorge Flores, our CTE director.
Good afternoon, Mr. Board President, members of the board, Dr. Science, community members. This time I'd like to take some time to recognize some of our students that participated in the Area 10 for Dairy Cattle competition. And I'd also like to take the time to personally thank Mr. Antonio Cano, the principal of La Jolla High School, for his support for our CTE programs. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Joanne Gonzalez, our advisor, for her leadership in helping out with our students. And I'd also like to say that thank you to the board, because without your support, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you very much. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. First off, we'd like to recognize Ladies Cantu. Ladies participated and advanced to state in the area dairy competition. I'd also like to recognize, and our students are online, by the way, viewing our session. I'd also like to recognize Jacqueline De Anda for also participating and advancing to state in the area dairy competition. And I'd also like to recognize Jade Garcia for participating and advancing to state in the area 10 dairy competition. These students did amazing, and once again, I'd like to thank everyone for their help and support, Dr. Science and our board members, and thank you and our community for obviously trusting our students with our district. Thank you very much. This concludes our recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
That concludes the superintendent's report, Mr. Salinas.
Thank you, Dr. Science. Okay, moving on to the next discussion items. The first one will be discussion of student attendance and TEA approved engagement methods.
For this discussion item, we have Dr. Adriana Villarreal, our Executive Director for Student Attendance and Community Relations.
Good afternoon, Board President, board members, and Dr. Science. As requested, I am going to go ahead and present some information on attendance and on engagement methods. You all have already received the packet, so I might go a little bit fast through this presentation. So I'll go ahead and start off with I want to go ahead and do just a review of our attendance goals. These were established at the beginning of the school year, and actually they were established since last school year. And so these are the goals that every campus is expected to have at the end of every 6 weeks, actually every week. For elementary campuses and middle school campuses, the goal is 97.5. For Head Start students, 92%. High schools, we have 95%. Early college, high schools and the academies are at 98%. West Academy, 90%. And for CCC, 90%. So if you'll notice, every different level has a different goal that they need to reach every 6 weeks. My next slide shows from first, we went ahead and prepared this report from first to fifth 6 weeks. First 6 weeks attendance campuses that met the attendance goals, and they're all listed here. Elementary campuses and what their percentage was, middle school campuses and what their percentage was, and then high school campuses and where they were at on the first 6 weeks. Okay? So on the first 6 weeks also, these are the campuses for the first 6 weeks that did not meet their attendance goal. And what I have listed on there for elementary campuses is the percentage that they were at. So if we look at elementary campuses, for example, Kika de la Garza Elementary, that's the first one on elementary campuses. They were at 97.02. They were almost there. And so we went ahead and wrote on there, calculated how much money would we have brought in had these campuses met their attendance goal. And so the number that's listed there is how much money would have been brought in had they met the attendance goal and had they had a better attendance. I just want to give a brief explanation, the difference between attendance reports and the difference between ADA. When we present attendance, we calculate the number of all students. When we recommend or when we submit to TEA, ADA is what's calculated. Just one, there's a difference there. In our regular attendance reports, all students are included. In ADA, remember, we do not get ADA for certain students, okay? And these are students, for example, that are the EEs, that are like 3-year-olds that receive special services in our school district. Like they're considered pretty much special ed. They receive maybe speech services. Those students receive services, but they're not counted. We do not get ADA for those particular students, however, they do get serviced. So I just wanted to clarify the difference between the two. And so we look at the next one for second 6 weeks, same thing. The campuses that made it, the campuses that did not make it are in the following slide. With the totals of how much money we would have brought in. Okay, and I have the same thing for every 6 weeks, third 6 weeks, all the way up to fifth 6 weeks. And I went ahead and I listed on here also what is being done differently for those campuses that are not meeting the attendance goals. I went ahead and I listed everything on here as far as what the attendance clerk, what the attendance coordinators and myself are in charge of doing. And if you can read all of the things that we work on every week to assist those campuses that are not meeting their goals weekly. So we go to the next slide. And so there's many things that are being done to assist those campuses. One of the things that I do want to mention is that our attendance goals for this school year are very, very high, and it's difficult for some of the campuses to reach those goals. But it's good that we have a very high standard and that we're pushing campuses to be at those high levels. So I just wanted to mention that it's extremely high. We're higher than what the state recommends, okay? As a district, 95% is what's recommended, but we're asking some of the campuses to be at 97.5. Some of them fall a little bit beneath that, but at least they know that the goal is 97.5. And so those are the things that we do to help them out. I also wanted to just 1 minute, I know that I'm kind of being rushed, okay. But just 1 minute, I just want to go ahead and review some of the TEA approved methods to count students present. And I want to review them just real quickly. Under an approved learning plan, students earn daily attendance through daily engagement measures. The approved engagement methods, this is coming directly from the TEA handbook, are listed below. Daily progress in the learning management system. So what is a learning management system? It's all the computer programs that students do, like Reading Renaissance, I can't think of any of the others, but they're listed in the next one. Daily progress via teacher-student interaction as defined in the approved learning plan, and completion of turn-in of assignments. One thing to keep in mind is that when we went under the pandemic, TEA made it very, very easy for us to be able to collect attendance from the students because it was very, very difficult. And yes, some of these, they seem kind of unreasonable, like, oh my God, you mean you can give them credit just because they went and did a reading renaissance test? Yes, they're allowing us to do that. And so this is our own. Every district had to submit a plan. This is our asynchronous plan. Teachers will communicate with students using a variety of resources such as WhatsApp, Remind, Class Dojo, Google Meets, Seesaw, Jamboard, and phone calls to ensure all students have a clear understanding of lessons. And then there's a lot of others that are mentioned down here. Some of them I'm not even, Imagine Learning, MyOn, Kahoot, Pear Deck. If students engage in any of those and do a lesson, they will be counted present, as long as they do it on a certain particular day before 11:59 p.m. Okay? Are there any questions on any of this?
The reports are really good. I like the way you broke down the schools that met and the schools that didn't meet and the money that was not collected. Do you have any idea what happened with the middle schools during the third 6 weeks?
When we contact the middle schools or any of the schools, we find out like what is going on. We get all kinds of feedback from them. The main thing was that students at that point were already getting very tired, and they were not answering the phone calls. They were not wanting to log in, and even now we're having that concern right now with many of the students that are already saying the school year's over. I don't have to log in. I don't have to do anything. So it affects us, and since it's the third 6 weeks, by then students were already very, very tired. There was also errors that were being made by the campuses where teachers were coding students, and we work very closely with the computer services department. And so the coding changed completely, and it was very, very confusing for teachers. So we had to go ahead and program or send out a videotape several times on how do you go ahead and code. I also had my attendance coordinators go and do lessons with the staff at the campuses so that teachers would understand, okay, this is how we're going to go ahead and code student absences or code student code students present. It's just that the coding, and it's kind of confusing for me to sit here and explain how, but we did have a meeting this week with computer services because there's new guidelines for how to code students truant as well. And so we had to bring in all the attendance clerks. Everything changed so much. It's not like it used to be that, everybody understood this is how you code, this is at this time, this is when you code attendance. It's not that easy anymore. And so it took a lot of relearning from a lot of campuses. And so they're all doing really, really well as far as trying to keep up with the students. A recommendation that's been given to all middle schools is if your numbers are not where they need to be, then you need to go ahead and a list was given of all to all middle school campuses. A list was given to them of how many students had 10 absences or more, and they were told you need to bring them in face to face. That will prevent them not logging in because they're going to be there at the school and we'll count them present. And so we're trying different strategies to make sure that students are. So that's where we're at this time.
The other question that I had was, is there a reason why there was a clarification made in April about being able to count students when there was contact with a parent? It was late in the year, and I'm wondering, perhaps at the beginning there was, there would have been higher attendance if it had been clarified earlier.
Well, no, it was clarified from the beginning because I was calling consistently, having communication with TEA, and I had already told some of the campuses, this is the way that we're going to do it. And let me go ahead and explain what Dr. Benavides is referring to. What happened was that there was resistance from campuses because when they read the information from TEA, it does say on there, communication or engagement from teacher-student interaction. So they automatically assumed, so even though at principals' meetings, I told them, I visited with them and I told them, this is how you're going to code. There was resistance because they kind of felt like, oh, that's not what TEA, and I told them, but the reason that it was clarified until so late was because I told them, and only verbally had I gotten an approval from TEA prior to April. And then in April was when they finally, and I've been emailing and emailing, in April is when they finally sent it to me in writing, and I sent it to all the principals, so we went back and made all those corrections. Yes, we would have had a lot better attendance had they not been so resistant. And I understand, they kind of were like, well, it says teacher-student interaction, and so as a matter of fact, yes, it was late in the year, but the email that I sent to them is right here. This is my question and my question was sent to them and I didn't get a response. My question was sent on November the 4th and many phone calls in between. And so I kept telling the principals, this is what we're gonna do. My question is, our district is continuing with remote instruction. I have a question about the engagement methods for the asynchronous method. It states in the guidelines that there must be daily interaction between student and teacher. What about if the child is very young? Can the teacher speak to the parent instead? Will this interaction with the parent suffice to count the student present for the day? Then on May the 15th is when I finally got that response. Good morning. Thank you for submitting your question regarding the TEA approved asynchronous engagement methods. You are correct in that the teacher speaking to the parent about the student's academic achievement and reminding the parents to make sure their child is logging in every day is an acceptable engagement method. So there, I got my response. I sent it to everyone in the district who had been questioning, well, we can't do it like this. But from the get-go, I kept reminding teachers, those of you that have students in the school district, if your child was not logging in, or the parent or the teacher had a concern, would the teacher be calling your child or would the teacher be calling you? The teacher would call the parent, right? So we had those discussions with principals. If a child is a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, they don't have telephones. The teacher has to call the parent. And then they talk about the academic achievement of the student. That was one concern. Second concern was, if a child is in high school, they do have cell phones. They could have answered the phone. When I visited the campuses, the response I was getting from the principals was, the kids are blocking the teachers. Okay, that was another thing. Then another thing is, teachers do not have access to student cell phone numbers. On Skyward, they only have access to a parent's cell phone number. So those are the conversations that I was having with principals. Now, if they call and talk to a grandma who's taking care of the student at the house, but the mom is at work, they're gonna call the mom at work because that's the only number they have. So I gave them all those scenarios of, please talk to the child. And so it's gotta be, I mean, it only makes sense. And as I spoke to people at TEA, everyone agreed with me. Well, it only makes sense. Who's asking that kind of question? That's what they told me. Why are people questioning that? I go, exactly, please put it in writing for me so that I can give it to everybody. So it took me that long, yes. But you're right, but we are able to go back and make corrections, Dr. Benavides, which is awesome. So this is where we're at now, but as we speak, campuses are still making corrections. They're keeping a parent contact log. And if on there they have communication, say April the 1st, they called the parent, it's in their parent contact log. They have the information. They spoke to the child, they spoke to the parent about Juanito. He needs to log in, he needs to do his math problems. Automatically they can go back and count him present for that particular day if they had counted him absent. So that's what we're working on.
Good, thank you very much. I would just like to request that next year, God willing, every 6 weeks we get this report, those that met and those that didn't meet and how much money would have been generated if we had met. This is
Exactly.
an excellent report that tells us exactly what's going on with attendance. So thank you for your work.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Thank you to you and your department. I know it's all a team effort
Thank you.
as a department, so thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vera.
Everyone is doing an excellent job. Campuses are struggling, and we've all struggled, but we've gotten through it. And so thank you all for all of your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up be the discussion of opening sports and learning complex.
Mr. Victor Garza, our athletic director, will lead this discussion.
Good evening, Mr. President, Madam Superintendent, Board of Trustees, community out in the public and the social media. I'm here to present a plan of action to allow us the opportunity to open up our recreational area and our natatorium and aquatic center that we have within the district. We feel that given the practices that we've had in place throughout the year through our athletic activities, if we put these practices in place, if we allow the community to learn and continue to practice the safety measures that we have in place, along with your CDC, the state, and our local guidelines, we feel that we can safely allow the opportunities to assist our communities to become physically fit or healthy again, to allow us to perhaps get out to the outdoors and assist us in our mental health, okay? What we have here in front of us today is a plan that allows us the opportunity to service our community by offering Learn to Swim to our little ones at different ages, to allow us the opportunity for the possibility of water aerobics for adults, lap swimming throughout the morning and afternoon or evening hours. This will run more or less Monday through Thursday. That'll allow us the opportunity to do that, with also the opportunity to allow us the opportunity to make the recreational area to be open to possibilities Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, okay? Given on the numbers, given where we're at, that can be a flexible schedule that we can have. Right now we have projected 2 to 7 with a possibility of 2 to 8 in the hours. That'll depend on the overall certification of our lifeguards, and those are opportunities also that we provide a lot of our students within the area an opportunity to gain work experience and at the same time assist their families in the financial needs that they might have, okay? A lot of these guidelines have been confirmed and assured through Red Cross. Red Cross, Ms. Nelly, our aquatic, our sports complex specialist, has been in contact and in communication with all the guidelines and assuring that we can set forth everything and be okay and assure the community that it is safe to attend the water aerobics, it is safe to attend lap swimming and or the Learn to Swim. Our Learn to Swim ratios would be 1 to 5, not the national standard of 1 to 10. 1 lifeguard to 5 students rather than 1 to 10. Our parents won't be allowed to be inside, while then most of the time they do want to for safety purposes, sanitizing. We have set certain standards that we will have to comply with and assure and affirm the parents that safety is of utmost importance there. There are some schedules that, sample schedules that we provided in regards to the aquatic center, in regards to what we will have in place. The number of lifeguards, we've worked with Human Resources and provided that information to Ms. Gloria Rodriguez, and we are currently working on that. So we're here before you to ask and say, you know, we are working. We worked close to our crisis team. Chief Gonzalez also assists a lot with us in assuring that all protocols that are needed are set forth and in action and put in action, and we will provide the training to our lifeguards.
Board of Trustees, there is an item in the agenda for you all to approve or not approve us opening during the summer.
Any questions?
My understanding it's your birthday today.
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes, thank you.
Any questions, anyone?
Well-written plan of action.
Our staff, and I give thanks to Ms. Nelly taking the leadership, the Sports and Learning Complex specialist with Virginia Rodriguez, our aquatic manager, and Xavier Escobedo, our head lifeguard, and they work very good together in assuring that the safety of utmost importance there.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Thank you, Coach Garza.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, moving on right along. Next B, consent agenda. Can I attain a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Garza
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Under letter A, contracts,
I'd
number
like to make a
3.
motion to approve items 3 and 4 and 5 under tab A, contracts.
Okay, I have a motion for items 3, 4, and 5. Do I attain a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Under letter B, number 2, approval of the baseball and softball fields lighting retrofit quotation 2021-815 through by board contract 592-19.
I have a question. I know that this item has been brought back, or it's been brought back. It's how we've already had it before, and it's important to me, and I speak for all of us. I believe that we're transparent with our community, and that we explain to them why it is that we are seeking to bring this item back and probably approve this. With that being said, I know it's important that we have the correct lighting for our children, and they deserve that, and that especially because lighting comes with safety, right, with safety issues, and I know we're lacking some of that. So, Mr. Villarreal, if you could just explain to us so that we can justify to the community as to what would we be approving with this item? Sure. As, like I said, it was brought back again, and maybe it was a misunderstanding the first time.
Sure, yes, very good question. Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, and to address Mrs. Cantu's vital question, moving forward from the March 8th board meeting, which we were given a directive to go ahead and pursue the retrofitting, we found that from that time on, there had been disturbances in the normal operation of the lighting system of not only the stadium, but our softball practice fields and our playing fields as well. So at the request of the district, we hired Jaimes Electric and to perform a more extensive and more in-depth looking into or study. And with that, we found that there were several more internal damages that was found, aside from what we had just looked over on the general side. So we went more in depth. And with that, some of the sustained damages were numerous failures in LED lights, numerous failures of low voltage power supply, wireless short range communication, possible damages to low voltage and high voltage fuses. There's a lot of other issues that were found more in depth and internal. If I may proceed, I'm okay going over. So a lot of obvious multiple component damages, and these are things that we just didn't. The normal eye wouldn't find this. We knew that the lights were flickering in a nutshell, but there was a lot of other little things that were going on the inside. To also at night when the stadium lights go on and the scoreboard goes off, there was a lot of buzzing and humming noises, and all that was internal, that we would not have found that out without an internal in-depth study. So multiple electrical infrastructure failures, damages to wire and wire insulation, hidden damages to all light components, creating delays and failures, which is I was talking about the noise. This was not only at our stadium, our football stadium, but in our baseball and softball main fields and practice fields as well. Power inverters, temporary energy, are in standby mode, but likely have component failures. So right now we have a lot of these turn on, but they're on standby. And I believe we were out there, 2 months ago, and we got to see how the shadows, because of the lights, because we have a lot of those lights that are on standby, but it shouldn't be that way. So those issues were coming on. We didn't have too much of those before the hurricane, and especially after the hurricane, months after, these things are still showing up. Surge protection modules that have also tripped direct and indirect lightning strikes also caused a lot of these issues. All right. So in a nutshell, there was more damages that we had foreseen, and not only foreseen that our engineers had foreseen, but that were exposed during the consequent investigation. Excuse me? Correct. Yeah. So as a result of wind damages that were brought on in July by the hurricane.
So the 500,000 that was originally approved covered the stadium, and 87,000 of that is going to be for the baseball and softball.
Yes.
And tonight we're approving to cover all the baseball
remainder.
and softball.
Correct. So that was good point, Dr. Benavides. So what the board had originally allowed us to expend was 500,000. Of those 500,000, only $400,000, 541 to be exact, for the football stadium, and that was going to be the lighting equipment, the freight to move materials, and the demolition, installation, and electrical. That was $412,541. Of that 500,000, 541 were needed. 87,459 were left over. All right. From those leftover $87,459, we were going to subtract from the $672,335,000, which were needed for the softball practice field, baseball practice field, softball championship field, and baseball championship field, to a total of, again, without the $87,459, it would be what is on for board approval at $584,876.
So in other words, it's going to be covered through our insurance?
Correct. Yes. And yes, and we do know that it is warranted work. And then, of course, yes, we don't know the dollars. We know the damages sustained from the hurricane. And yes, to answer the question, I can't say for sure the amount of that is on the table, but I do know that there are a lot of damages, and we are working together with our engineers and our attorney and our consultants to make sure that we get every penny from every school from all the damages that were sustained because of this uncompromising hurricane. And we want to invest it right back, as I know you all would want us to, right back into our schools so that our kids can have a better quality of education at every campus. Good question. Are there any other questions?
Mr. Villarreal, would that cover also the light show, the added load? I know in the past meeting I asked about that too, and I see that the price went down.
Good
so
question.
But
Good question. That again, I cannot, and in talking with the engineers and our attorneys, I can't say exactly what the cost of that we're going to get reimbursed from because of the insurance. But yes, in a nutshell, and to make it in a simple answer, yes, it will cover, it should cover, and will cover the added light shows. Correct.
I know I see Mr. Loya in the background, and I know that he's been in charge of this project. Mr. Loya, is there anything or any additional information that you might want to share with us and the community?
The clarification, I just want to make sure that I have it right. This light show is for the baseball and softball fields, correct?
Baseball and softball fields, and
because we already have it at the stadium.
Correct.
Yes, Dr. B. If we remove the light show, it will be $30,146 cheaper.
what is it that we have at La Jolla? What do we have at the stadium? We have it already?
Yes, at the last.
We have it at the stadium, and they're saying this is for the baseball and the softball fields. That's how I read it.
Well, what exactly is the light show?
Yeah.
So basically, the light show, Dr. Cantu, it's something new. We'd be the first school district in the state of Texas to have it. Let's say one of our kids hits an RBI, the lights would go crazy, or a home run, a touchdown. During pigskin, when the band is playing, the lights can be moving to what the band is playing. So
So we have that at the stadium right now? I didn't know.
It was approved for at the last board meeting, ma'am.
But I think the question is, do we currently have it?
Okay, no, I knew that, but we haven't seen it, that's
Yes,
why.
No, but we've already included it in the package.
Okay.
Yes.
This is just to include in the baseball and softball fields?
Yes, it's an option. We can remove it from it's only for the championship baseball and championship softball field. It's also an incentive for our JV players. If I want to play in the varsity, if I hit a home run, the lights will go crazy. I mean, it's something new. It's an option. We don't need. If the board wishes not to get it, that's fine. It's just an option that was presented to us.
No, I'm all about celebrating. I think that, of course, it would look awesome for the kids. I just was questioning just to make sure that it's something that we don't have to, overspend on a project or anything, but I'm all about those home runs.
Yes, ma'am.
Given the explanation, I move that we approve the baseball and softball fields lighting retrofit quotation as presented.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Herrera, and thank you, Mr. Loya.
Thank you.
Moving on to letter C, business and finance. Number 2, approval of the standard form of agreement between owner and contractor for La Jolla ISD, Puerto Lincoln High School Drainage Improvement Project.
So move.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, can say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Number 3, under letter C, business and finance, approval of proposal submitted by engineering firm to oversee the La Jolla Football Stadium turf and track renovation projects.
So move.
I have a motion.
Second.
Can I take a second? I have a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Yes, Mr. Salinas.
Aye.
On this one, we have renegotiated the percent. So instead of 7.5%, it needs to be 6.75%.
For the record, Blanca. Thank you. Okay, so all those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to letter D, instruction and student services. Number 2, approval of the student physicals and athletic extracurricular participation for 21-22 school year.
I'd like to make a motion to approve items 2 and 3.
Second.
I have a motion for items 2 and 3 under letter D, and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to letter E, human resources, new position, elementary and secondary school emergency relief ESER 3 administrator.
Again, I'd like to make a motion to approve items 1, 2, and 3.
I have a motion for items 1, 2, and 3 as for Mr. Garza under letter E. All those in favor? I need a second on that one.
Second.
And a second by Dr. Benavides. All those indicate by saying aye in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes. Okay. At this time, it is 7:29, and under sections codes 551071, 551072, and 551074, we're going into executive session. Okay, it's 9:46, and we are out of executive session. BH, personnel.
Mr. President, I'd like to make 2 separate motions. My first motion would be items 1 through 10, items 12 and 13 to approve as discussed in executive session. And my second motion would be items 11 to extend our superintendent's contract for 1 year.
So, second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes with one motion, adding the second motion. Dr. Science, congratulations, 1 year extension with the raise as approved by the board later on for administration.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salinas, and thank you to all the Board of Trustees for your vote of confidence and the opportunity to continue to work with our La Jolla ISD students and staff and you all. Thank you so much.
At this time, I'll just take a motion for adjournment at 9:53.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.